What do we do now? What do we do now? I know this is all my fault. The doctor even said it would be a miracle if she ever wakes up. Kale, if I just haven't.
Shh, don't blame yourself, Clear. It's not your fault. It was my fault. I'm pretty sure Vera won't blame you.
What a nice view. Two people worried about a comatose person who looks no different than a vampire from being pale. Looks normal, right? Looks so sweet, touching, and all. Except for the fact that a certain somebody is my boyfriend, and a certain someone is his very close friend secretary. They have a very one-of-a-kind friendship, you see. They cuddle a lot, kiss a lot, confess their love, blah blah blah. And they do all that in my ward. Do I mind? Well, I used to, until 1 year ago I became immune to their stuff. But please, even though I'm immune, doesn't mean I'm not disgusted with their flirting. Can you please do that outside? I'm the one who's embarrassed for y'all.
Kale, I really can't do it anymore. We're already jailing her for doing this.
Gosh girl, good you know. Did you remember I'm here because of y'all?
Clear, don't do that. I love you. You know that. I promised you in front of the fountain, remember? I promised you you're the only one I'll marry.
I did. You really say that while having a girlfriend? And hey, are you really here to apologize or flirt?
You know what? Let's go.
What, are you gonna have a mental breakdown? Or do you want to vent by breaking stuffs in my ward? Don't be shy. Go on. I won't mind.
I made her cry, didn't I?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Sometimes I wish you were awake.
Guy, that was the best thing you've ever told me ever since I was in coma so far.
During these situations, you used to be the one who gives me the best advice on how to fix this. If you were only awake to guide me. Vera.
You son of a jeech. You piece of shite. I'm going to GL you, asshole. Seriously, what were you two doing here anyway? Those two seems to have a thing with giving me a heart attack. They're jailing me, flirting and all that. If only I didn't know those two for a long time. I would have doubted if they ever heard the word shame. They didn't even sympathize a comatose person who's basically G'ing. To think that bastard is cheating for 3 years, while having such a good-looking girlfriend like me is pissing me off. What's his problem? I'm good-looking, can do chores, my job is not bad. And most of all, I love him to the bone back then. When did he even have the thoughts to cheat anyway? Wait, isn't this the doctor with facial paralysis? What's he doing here? He should be on vacation today, right?
Good afternoon, Mr. Main.
My guy has a habit of talking to sleeping people, doesn't he?
You might be wondering why I'm here.
No, I'm actually wondering why you're talking to a sleeping person.
Mr. Main, you're perhaps aware that our contract ends here today, which means I am not your personal doctor anymore. Rest assured, Mr. Main, I won't state any of your personal information to any individual, blood-related or not, as part of the contract. If you need me, or if you have more questions, just contact me via email, Facebook, and Instagram. I'll make sure to reply by then. It pains me to say this, but I guess this is goodbye, Mr. Main. We've been acquainted for 5 years. I won't forget your kindness, Ms.
Really? You don't look sad at all. As expected, 5 years was nothing for you. What did I expect from a heartless person? Wait, don't tell me you're really leaving. What kind of doctor leaves their patients behind? You heartless bastard, come back here.
And they left the body behind.
Wait, where did that guy go? He must be around here somewhere. Dang it, even after a year. I'm still not used to people walking past through me. It a shame. None of these people seem to know they just walked past through such a cute person like me. There he is. Ha ha ha. You can't escape my grasp without fully healing me, dude. I can't believe I just went through car door. It seems like I'm really nothing but a beautiful tragic ghost. Hey, Leon. Why the heck did you quit? You've been my personal doctor for 5 years. This isn't like you at all. Dang, Leon. I just noticed. Have you always been this handsome? Hey, what the heck was that for?
TS, what a careless driver. That guy might cause an accident, braking suddenly. Doesn't he know there's a car behind him?
There's no car in front of us though. You just love putting the blame on others, TS. Anyway, hello? When are we gonna arrive at your house? This is gonna take forever. Really, this boredom is stressing me out. What will it do to my flawless skin?
And here I thought I could get rid of this ghost if I quit. So noisy and annoying.
And so, while I was in coma, they were kissing in front of me like, can you believe those?
Oh look, I'm here. Hopefully no one would be so noisy to bother me.
You're weird. Man, not bad. You got quite a nice place over here, This is probably bigger than mine. I heard you don't allow anyone to enter your house, Nee. Geez, you told me back then you hate people. What a loner. Welp, guess my soul is special.
Ghost? How to get rid of this ghost? The temperature really seems low. Should I really just call over an exorcist?
Hey, you can't do that. I may be a ghost, but I'm not even dead yet. Anyway, that is simply an insult to my face. Which part of me looked any like a ghost? Anyway, I wanna see your room. Maybe there's like a diary in there about your embarrassing moments. Oh, bet the bathroom's more interesting. Maybe I'll peek on you sometimes. Oh heck, I've always wanted to do this.
Seriously. That girl is hopeless. Should I really just call over an exorcist to get rid of her? But that would jail her. I would be considered as a murderer if that happens. Would holy water help? How about Antahos talisman and TS? I don't remember inviting anyone in my house. Nor do I remember ordering a delivery. But that doesn't mean that ghost woman didn't. Where is she? In the bathroom maybe? Where did that ghost woman go?
I knew it. You can see me.
Oh, it's just a bug. I thought it was something else. I guess I should clean up frequently from now on. TS, how annoying. It'll take me a while to disinfect this whole place.
Leon, I know you hate me for being a ghost and all, but don't you think you're being too much? Comparing my face with a bug my face. Are you blind? You were my personal doctor for the past 5 years, and I'm grateful for that. But that doesn't mean I will let you get away with this. I'm a ghost after all. I'll really make all your dreams cursed.
Really? You seem very confident about that, Mr. Main.
Finally, you admit it. I thought you're going to make me perform a one-man show. I'd look like a crazy weirdo.
It's not that I hate you, Mr. Main. It's just that I hate people who only think of themselves. Piece of advice, lessen your selfishness at least a bit.
What's up with him? TS, let's just stop thinking about it. Yeah, stop thinking about it, Vera. Remember, you're an elegant, beautiful, fairy-like creature. You are a well-mannered lady. That's why your boyfriend's secretary is jealous of you. That must be why your boyfriend is cheating on you. He probably thinks you're too pure and kind and too good for him. No, he's probably blind. Yes, that must be it. You're too beautiful. Even when looking very sick, you still look like a sleeping fairy, a graceful vampire, who's beautiful as a rose and…
Mr. Main, narcissism is a very serious and contagious disease. I suggest you should stop thinking too much.
Shut up. There's just no one to praise my charm, so I'm praising my own. Okay. A person like you, Doc, can't understand what beauty is at all. What more a girl's heart? But anyway, now that he can see me, I seriously, who the heck keeps knocking? And why isn't Leon even opening it? Leon, who the heck keeps knocking?
I don't know, probably the couple who just moved next door earlier.
Then, why don't you open it?
Too bothersome and annoying. Besides, what does the moving next door has anything to do with me?
Dang, you have a point. Man, I really envy your logic.
Why? Do you want to see them?
Well, a bit. Well, I just want to see if they're a real loving couple or not.
Fine.
Good afternoon, sir. We are the new neighbors who just moved next door earlier. Me and my girlfriend was hoping if we could get along.
Ever since I was a kid, I believed fairy tales doesn't exist. There was no Prince Charming who would came to save and kiss me. If there is, Don't you think he came too late? Well, I stick to that belief until I met him. The person whom I thought was my knight in shining armor. I was 21 that time, 4th year of college. He chased me shamelessly. He somehow made me feel like I'm the most beautiful girl at the whole university. Naturally, this old lady that has never had any love experience fell for his pursuit. We've been dating for 3 years now. Everything was great. That was until I found out that he may be my knight, but I was never his princess. What are they doing here?
Good afternoon. We are your new neighbors. We want to make friends with new neighbors. So yeah, we hope you would be willing to be friends with us.
Yeah, after all, we live just right below you. And you know what they say, neighbors stick together and trust each other.
Yeah, so we really...
Well, good afternoon. Nice to meet you. If that is all, good day.
Wait, me and my...
Well, would you look at that? The new neighbors turns out to be your boyfriend and his other girlfriend.
I can see that. The world is really small, eh? Geez. I've always felt they're deliberately doing this. They're everywhere. I somehow feel that they're the protagonist here, and I'm the comatose antagonist causing them to fight frequently.
Well, based on movies, you have a point, but those comatose antagonists always end up dead, while most of their last words are, "I'm leaving him to you, or take care of him, or you're free now. Please be happy without me." Or perhaps while being hospitalized, the protagonist suddenly finds out that the comatose antagonist is pregnant for 3 months, causing the protagonist to fight, and then finds out later that the baby is dead. But what I'm wondering is, why would they be shocked that antagonist is pregnant? Isn't that natural? I mean, the antagonist is always the girlfriend. Then male protagonist says to female protagonist, he only love female protagonist. But obviously antagonist is the girlfriend. If he doesn't love antagonist, shouldn't he break up with?
Leon, no wonder you still don't have a girlfriend. You can't even understand basic roles in romance movies. Antagonist is antagonist, because they are the biggest challenge to the main leads, and they mainly exist to piss off viewers. They're always narcissistic, loves shiny stuff, does everything to touch the protagonist's bottom lines, and even does everything to get female protagonist to trouble, while the female protagonist is hard-working girl, who has been living in poverty for years and doesn't get tempted by the good-looking male protagonist easily. And wait a minute.
The antagonist is somehow 7 points similar to you, so you better watch your physical body. Who knows? You'll suddenly find out you have a baby growing inside your belly.
Leon, can you shut up? Sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't plan to do the dirty before I get married.
That's fine. But you're already 24, right? Didn't you plan to get married with him before? I mean, 3 years. It's probably because he thinks you don't like him at all, or you rejected his proposals too many times, that he thinks you're not taking him seriously at all. So he looked for someone who likes high.
He didn't propose at all, but he said he will. Before I had an accident, a year ago, he called me, saying he wants me to come to the park. He told me wants to say something important to me. That time I thought that was it. He will propose to me. I even wore a nice dress back then and spent 2 hours for makeup. Even wore our matching necklace. But then I saw him. He was giving a whole bouquet of red roses to another lady more good looking than me. Then he kissed the lady and they looked very happy. And then I recognized that lady. It was his personal assistant who has been with him for 2 years now. Elle spoke to her before. She's always the one who answers my boyfriend's phone. Back then, I couldn't help but being suspicious about it. But then, he always says she was just his assistant. Of course, I couldn't stay calm. I mean, they spend more time together since, work. If he was tired of me, he could have just say so. Why let me witness such a scene? To slap me in the face?
Really? Moved on. It seems like up until now you still like him, Mr. Main.
Tsk. You don't understand. Geez. Why did I expect a guy single since birth would even understand? I'm just bitter, okay? Anyway, I really didn't expect you to talk to me.
Since you're done venting, you can get out of my house now, Nee.
What? Call an exorcist or what?
No, I sorta think calling a psychic would be better.
First, you want call an exorcist. Do you think I'm a demon? Now you want to call a psychic. Leon, I gotta warn you, I am not dead. My heart's still beating, brain still working. In short, I am not dead. You're mean, ya know?
I got it. No wonder I felt something was wrong. I am hungry.
You weren't listening to me at all, right? And he's gone. Hey, I wanna eat too. I can't believe it. He really just left me. Though that's already expected.
Oh my! A live soul. This is rare.
Miss, you can see me?
Naturally, besides, like yourself, I am a ghost too. Young one.
You don't look like a ghost at all, but you look familiar.
Well, that's probably because I've been dead for so long.
If you don't mind me asking, but when did you die? I mean, what year? 5 years ago or so.
Well, do I look that young? Actually, I died in 1969.
Then how did to you, Gigi? You look quite young, miss.
It's actually quite simple, not a long sort of a story. Back then, my age, 28, is quite old for an unmarried woman. So I was on my way to go to a blind date. While on my way, I happened to pass by a couple who was in a serious fight. I mean, the wife had an AFA in her hand. Then all of a sudden, the wife ran off towards and directly stabbed me with an AFA directly. She mistook me for her husband's mistress.
Like I was heading for my blind date.
There were so many people passing by. Why me? Is it because I look good? If that's so, who does she think her husband is to think that me, this beautiful lady, would associate with him? And then, the real mistress was the lady beside me who just lived right next to them. And the lady didn't even look that good. What more, she's 56. Do I look like someone who's 56? I was really mad. Anyway, I checked the place for my blind date. I saw a very fine, good-looking, well-mannered 29-years-old man. He looked very freaking excited. He went there 2 hours in advance. I can't bear to see how he will find out his blind date's already dead. Then I found out guy has a crush on me for 15 years. And he deliberately arranged a blind date with me. He was even preparing an engagement ring. Thinking about it makes me want to GL those couple. And that lady living next to them. What more, in that life, he actually never married anyone. His parents urged him to move on and get married. But he said there's no one in the world who could compare to me. Thinking about it makes my heart flutter. This old lady feels like a teenager every time I think of that person.
You are lucky to have that kind of person.
Yeah. I must have saved the Milky Way in my past life. To have that person to like me then.
Is there something wrong, miss?
This can't be, kid. Remember the guy I mentioned just now? Over there.
Yeah, you mean Leon?
No. The guy with white hair.
That's impossible. That guy is a selfish bastard. And my younger brother. He's nothing compared to the guy you just said. The fact that all the girls he's interested in looks the same. Wait, no wonder you look familiar.
This is impossible. He died 19 years ago.
That can't be him. He's nothing like the guy you explained. That's probably just his doppelganger or look-alike. That kid is one of the people I hate the most. If not for him, my family should probably been whole. He's probably my nemesis.
It seems like you're familiar with that young man. What is this? Family grievance?
Geez, I'm serious. Also, can you talk less formally?
No, I just talk like this normally. Perhaps because I died like 70 years ago or so. No, I mean 60 years ago.
Are simps also common in your era? Not to be rude, it's been 60 years, but you still remember what he looks like in his 20s.
Honestly, all I can say that he really is a carbon copy of him. He's 10 points similar to my guy, and I think I have a strong memory. If someone tells me that's him, I'd probably believe without a doubt.
I want to ask, if you've been here for so long, didn't you have a chance to reincarnate or go FO heaven or something? Not to mention, why do you have ears and a tail? It can't be you cosplayed while going on a date?
Well, dearie, you can do either of those if you still have grievance left. Ever heard of the nine-tailed fox spirit? By the way, cosplays doesn't exist back then. But long short story 9 tails equals to 9 lives. Since I only have one tail, it means I only have one life. If that disappears, I basically won't exist anymore. Just disappear. What am I doing? This is ridiculous. My parents only had me as a child. They were already old when I died. The blow was too much for them and got sick. I couldn't do anything. I was just floating around and watching, while those pathetic people just threw a few bags of coins as a compensation to my parents. They were really ridiculous. My life was only worth a few bags of coins for them, huh? I wonder if those coins even reached $1. And that man, he was supposed to have a bright future, a good wife, and a happy family. What's the use of sticking to a dead person? Can he earn money from it? Can a dead person take care of him when he's old? Although seeing your friend's face made me feel a lot better.
He's not my friend. He's my half-brother. He's the son of my mom and her new husband.
Oh, so that's why. So that's why you seem to hate him to death. Your mom had him while being married to your father, eh? You seem like in your 20s this year. You should know. Your parents' mistake can't be blamed to the child. He's your younger brother after all. I think it would be better if you wouldn't pin the blame to him. Who knows what tragic stuff he's been into? It's not like I'm forcing you, but just an advice from a deed fox lady. Why don't you give him a chance?
You're doing this because he looks like your guy, didn't you?
Well, maybe just half of it. But the other half is 'cause he looks kind of bit lonely. I dunno. Probably it's because the person he's having dinner with doesn't seem to pay attention to him. Speaking of which, earlier, when you mistook my man's look-alike as that guy named Leon, you seemed to panic a bit there. Who could that be? Your crush or something?
The heck do you mean, Leon? What the duck? Why would I fall for a guy with facial paralysis?
Geez, youngsters nowadays likes to deny their feelings, huh? I also saw a pair of friends earlier denying their feelings. I heard those people are called sunders or oblivious. Geez, but I quite think those so-called sunders are quite cute. Especially as if cold sunders, they remind me of cats. Lol. Remind you I like cats since my guy has a bunch of them.
Simp.
Did you say something?
And nothing. It's nothing.
Oh, then I better be leaving now. I don't want to see a certain grim reaper appearing to kill me. Oh, and give my regards to your brother. Tell him a certain Thier said he's hot as fack.
Ha. Psych. I would rather GG. Now, come to think of it, he's still 18 this year, still 6 years younger than me. After all, I was 6 when my mom had him. Hey who cares if he's young or something? I still won't forgive him. I won't even go near him. That person is the reason I don't have anybody right now. But since Leon is here, let's just bear with it.
Ah heck, look, isn't that Asher?
Great. Celebrities in a park, not bothering to undercover. Geez, it's been 2 hours. Can someone have lunch for 2 hours straight?
And of course, you're still in my house.
Shut up. Anyway, what were you doing earlier? Why were you talking to Meth?
Well, that kid asked me that. Did I really resign as your personal doctor? Naturally, I said no, I don't care about my reputation either, since I'm gonna retire next week. He asked me to at least give you a chance. I said no, but who knew that kid was so persistent and kept bothering me? So I told him I'd think about it. Anyway, with you also bothering me here, you siblings are simply giving me a headache. I guess being annoying runs in your blood, huh?
Then what about my parents? Did they ask for me or something?
I didn't seem to remember them visiting you ever since the accident. So honestly, I am not surprised that they didn't ask about the situation.
I already expected that. But you know, how could they do this? They're still my parents. How come?
Not everyone is qualified to be a parent. Of course, humans are greedy. Most likely, they seek their own happiness. That's probably your parents' case. As for me, I grew up in an orphanage, so I really can't relate to what you feel.
Honestly?
Tsk, I deliberately rented 3 rooms side by side, so no one would bother me. Sure enough, your boyfriend's really not a good thing. Obviously, I slammed the door earlier. Am I not doing enough indirectly, saying I don't like their faces?
Geez, aren't you being too rude, Leon? But well, what do you expect from people who thinks the world only revolves around them?
I don't think you have the right to call me rude when you're bad-mouthing them, Miss Vera.
You know, I literally almost jed because of them. I don't even know if I'm ever gonna wake up while them over there is still alive and kicking. Can't I have the rights to badmouth them? I don't care if they're in love or something. What matters is that I'm almost no different than a deed soul. A beautiful, probably deed soul. In my situation, I'd probably never be able to wake up from my beauty sleep.
Then what if you'll really never be able to wake at all? I mean, what if you're really gone? Deed gone?
In that case, when the time comes, You gotta kiss me by then. Like what the prince did to the wake the beauty up.